he was just telling me like he took 3 of his people that he coached. He told them like he gave them their money back, man, because it was just too hectic for him. It was a lot of people out there too. A lot of people out there, Coda. Like even people like I don't know if you know the guy Dude Mungus. Like I know him personally. I know because just him being from Georgia and me being from Alabama, he came down here too, all the way from Atlanta. He came all the way from Dakota, and he said it was a lot of people. He said it was too many. Like the different iterations was too many people out there.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that. How many riders were open to the track? Because you gotta have to split it up. It's
Right.
very important if it's your first time or even your first time at a track that you can't even go into your intermediate group or whatever group you're used to being in.
Right.
Because you got to know the lines, especially if it's your first time on the track. You got to follow a coach. You got to know what gear to be in and then how to improve from there. So if you just go out there, especially with a lot of traffic, people get in the way, and that causes crashes for sure.
Yeah. There was a lot of people out there though. A lot of people. A lot of people that I even follow on Instagram was out there. I didn't go to ride because I got my daughter, man. I had to hurry back up here where I stay at to pick up from the daycare, but I just wanted to go see. Like there was a lot of people out there. Like a lot of people was out there. Like, and the crazy thing about it, like I know it's cool to like have your camera set up, but it was so many people out there that was trying to set they cameras up to try to get footage. I'm like, man, look.
Yeah.
You came here for the wrong reason, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you came here to ride. Like, you trying to get content. Like, unless you try to get content, try to study yourself. But I know a lot of those people don't like trying to study themselves. They just want content so they can post it. Like I don't want to. I'm so focused out there. Like, I want the coach to like tell me like what I'm doing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it ain't even about the content with that. I could do that on my own, like on the street. But yeah, I don't know. But it was just. To each his own. I was just like, man, y'all. A couple people had the little thing. Yeah.
It became real to me. Like I used a camera to see how I ride myself, not for videos, because like I don't post that much. Try to post as much as I can. So pictures and videos do help, but if you go there just to do that at first, I think it's trying to get video footage and stuff like that. And I don't think that's a good idea because you got to learn the track. And that's the wrong reason to to try to get footage.
Camera setups, bro. Like the 360 camera on the windshield. I'm like, man, I was like, it's cool. Like I know they're trying to do like the best they can. Like and it's cool with the content. But I'm like, that's just a little too much, man. A little too much. Just a little too much. I would try to be as well.
This is at COTA last weekend?
Yeah, COTA last weekend.
And was it from what I heard, it was like a lot of people there. Was it?
Yeah, it was Ride Smart event.
You took out the Ducati?
No. I POV'd it because I had to hurry back and get my daughter from daycare.
Yeah. No, I heard it was kind of crazy. We might touch on it a little bit later because it seems like you guys were talking before I jumped in how crazy it was with all the accidents and stuff like that. So that's a little bit wild. Let's get this thing going. My name is Rex45. It's the Be Forever Cool podcast. We're here at MotoAmerica VIR round. 4 different classes racing this weekend: Talent Cup, Super Sport, Twin, and Superbike class. 6 races, I think. Well, 3 races. 2 races on Sunday for Superbike, 1 race on Saturday. So a lot of excitement, a lot of points to be had for the guys that are fighting for the championship. But before we introduce the guys and get this thing really rolling, I want to thank all the folks that are liking and subscribing and commenting, keeping us on our toes. We really appreciate it. And as like we like to say in the dance hall, tell a friend about the Be Forever Cool podcast. Go to beforevercool.com. and get connected. I think, well, we've got a couple more things to talk about. Let's talk about Woodcraft. Woodcraft is an affiliate of ours. Use the Rexy code. If you spend over $100, you get a free Woodcraft t-shirt, and Woodcraft parts are the best out there in the track community. Also for the streets, if you guys like to mod, and I know folks like to mod their bikes, so definitely go to Woodcraft website and check them out. Also, if you're looking to save some money on some Pirelli tires, Go to Mark 10 Motorsport, mention Be Forever Cool, save 10% off some slicks. Race tires only, no street tires, but at least you get to save some money. And if you guys, they got the big bikes and gals that got the big bikes that go through tires over a weekend, it's good to save a little bit of money there. We do have some folks going to pop in here at the media center and jump in, so can't wait for that. But with that, let's get the guys that are on the channel remotely and get them in and see what's going on. TJ, man, welcome to the show. What's good? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys? Can't complain. I'm ready for racing this weekend. It's cool to be up and on the live, where after this, it's right into the VIRC's weekend. So
yeah,
exactly. Ready to watch all the classes.
Nice. I mean, you know, I'm paying a little bit of attention to basketball. I mean, the Celtics don't have but they may have a tough season this year, man.
Yeah, I mean, for some reason, all of our sports teams, we always feel like we're gonna have a tough year, and something always happens where we just have that gel, and we gel together, and we improve. Like even the Red Sox, like they were terrible at the start of the season, and now we're getting back close to the 500 in the top. And Patriots last year, we didn't think we was gonna go to the Super Bowl, so even the Celtics being that good without Tatum. So I mean, it's a tornado up here right now with like the news and stuff, the sports, but I think we'll be all right.
All right, so you're telling me to stay calm is what you're saying. Just stay calm.
Stay calm. Yeah.
Harry, man, welcome to the show. How you doing this morning, man?
I'm doing good, brother Rex. How you doing, man? I'm just excited about VIR this weekend, the triple header with the Superbike class, and it's gonna get interesting this weekend, especially for Superbike. And I think we're in for a good weekend of racing here in the red, white, and blue.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I think it's going to be crazy. We got a lot to kind of talk about that. I know you guys didn't get a chance to talk MotoGP this past weekend, so let's do a little bit dancing, song on dance on that until and then we'll get into what's happening here at MotoAmerica. Shout out to Smitty. I hope you're fully recovered, man. I hope you're taking care of that plant. Can't wait to get you back on the show. I see you popping in for the live, man. That's what's up. Yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on this past weekend at MotoGP, guys? Start with TJ.
I mean, I wanted to see the Ducatis do a little bit better, but they definitely struggled. The Aprilia's definitely bounced back. They came back a little stronger. I mean, it was fortunate that Iagura went out, but he's still in good shape. He still has good fast pace. But I think the Aprilias did really well to respond after the previous race round. So it was good to see Raul get up there because, as far as, his season is when and him solidifying a spot now, he's been riding excellent. So that bike is very dialed in for him. And him and Ogura, that track house is kind of even with the factory team, sometimes doing a little bit better, and that's just carrying them right now. So the Ducati's gonna have to do something. That's the only one that can really fight with Aprilia, and I just wish Pecco can do a little bit better. I know we was talking about Pecco moving up in the standings, and I told you I didn't think that would really be possible, but it's just showing that he didn't come out as strong as we thought. So it's still gonna be a long season to go, but I can't wait to see what Ducati can respond to.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. Let's say Harry will start, and we kind of dissect a little bit between Aprilia and Ducati.
I was just super happy. I was ultra happy to see Bezzecchi come back after that collarbone issue, and I didn't think he was going to even podium this past weekend, but he was able to do everything he needed to do, and you could tell that he was in some excruciating pain, and he endured it. And I thought if Agura had stayed, was a little more successful, he probably wouldn't have made it. But it was good to see Bezzecchi come back and just see the dominance of like how Jorge Martin is now like a in the lead with amongst the rest of the riders. And also I don't know what's really going on with the Ducatis. Like it seems like they're underpowered, or they was having some grip issues the whole weekend, but they just cannot hang with the Aprilias. That setup that the Aprilia has right now, it just seems like it's unbeatable. Also, it was good to see Trackhouse Trackhouse head guy that he was able to be there when Raul Fernandez won. So like that was pretty cool to see him go up on the main stage at the end of the race to celebrate that win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I don't know what was going on there. They say it was tire issues. Marquez said it was on him. Before the weekend, we talked about who out of the top 8 riders had to come out swinging, and it seems like the Aprilia guys, outside of Ogura making that one mistake there, they had it all figured out. I mean, was this a shock for you guys? We'll start with TJ on how pretty much everyone struggled except for Aprilia.
I mean, it's a little bit of shock. I feel like, I feel like the other manufacturers would struggle, but to see how Ducati would have a little fight, like even Digi was fighting hard, and then they were just falling back. So you can see it in Ducati's teams and their faces where they just couldn't understand what was going on, and they definitely had some grip issues. I don't know if it's the chassis, but it was a little shock that they still allowing Aprilia to basically lock out and have no chance to fight.
Right. Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy. What are your thoughts, Harry, on the struggles? I mean, it's a one-off thing for Ducati. I mean, Silverstone normally is a great track for these guys.
Yeah, I thought they had it figured. I thought maybe the package they probably would have did and reconfigured or mapped something differently after the sprint race. And then here comes the Sunday race. That after the first turn, Mark tried to hang in there, and then all of a sudden it was just like a drag race with all the Aprilas just coming through the first lap, and it was just nobody could do nothing with them. And I don't know, like I know Ducati's probably going into the lab to try to recover and try to fix whatever they need to fix. But as of now, I think it's just going to continue to probably be a shutout like Aprila's been doing, unless something spectacular happens at the next race.
No doubt. No, that's pretty crazy. We got Dustin in the building that may join us. Is it your time, or are you coming back at 9?
No, I get to turn the cameras on at 9:30.
Oh, all right. Come back. We'll have Dustin.
Come right here.
Yeah, come around, man. Have a seat. Yeah, for sure. Let's do it. Gotta get you mic'd up real quick.
I was just gonna say, Mark didn't want to crash. He was kind of saving himself because he knew if he would have pushed, that bike would have threw him somewhere.
Yeah, we saw it.
He didn't want to risk it, so he played it smart.
Yeah, he did.
So I thought it was unfortunate though, because we want to see him fight because he's a front runner. But something was wrong if Mark had to say, "Hey, I didn't want to get hurt. I just had to play it safe," and he was getting swallowed up basically. He dropped from like 5th to like, I think almost 9th.
Yeah. No, that was a struggle for Mark. I was shocked at what happened there. Mic check. Can you hear us, Dust? You good?
Oh, I can hear you.
Yeah. All right, cool. That's what's up.
Because Alex was telling on him fast, and Alex actually over got him at the end. Like I was like, wow.
Yeah, he definitely overtook him at the end, and I didn't expect Alex to be that fast, especially the past couple of rounds from what his accident is. But Alex is trying also with that Ducati and just can't.
Yeah. No, I agree. So we got Dustin here from Track Days. Also,
What's up, Dustin?
You're the man behind the scenes at Yamaha, getting all this footage, man. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, thanks, man.
How you doing today, man?
I'm good. I figured I'd come in and fill the shoes, the gigantic orange shoes,
right?
I might add, of Maurice. So, but you guys call him Reese.
Yeah, we call him Reese, but you can call him Maurice.
Okay.
So what are you hoping to see this weekend, man?
You know what? I'm hoping to see Yamaha 1, 2, 3 here on the podium in the correct order.
Yes.
The blue, the attack ones in the front.
Attack ones in the front. Now, are you on a certain side of the box, or you're kind of neutral between JD and
You know what, man? If one of them win, we win.
That's right.
We don't really play favorites over an attack. We don't have any team orders or whatever. The mission over there is always to try to build motorcycles that both the riders are capable of winning on. And the team wins if one of them wins. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Nah, which is pretty crazy. These two guys that, a couple of years ago they were on different teams, and Bobby came in last year as a first time rider on the factory team and did really well. And now we see JD doing the same thing. Is it just the cohesiveness of the whole team in general that makes that happen, where riders can just come in and just do well from the start?
You know what? Richard's done a great job building a winning capable motorcycle, and if you look at the history, the past several years, several riders have come in and had success on that bike. Tony Elias came in, damn near everybody that's ridden that thing has won a race on the thing, right? It's like, man, Richard makes it so anybody can ride it.
Right.
So, I think it's a sought after seat in the paddock, and I think there's a lot of riders that would kind of kill to ride that bike. So.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Couple of rounds left. We got 3 races this weekend. I always try to get Reese to kind of spill the beans on what's going on in the team right now. I mean, you guys relax. What listening to classical music? What's happening to
classical? You know what? I'll say this: we don't have any beans to spill, man. You know what I mean? The guys are just doing their thing. It's like the one thing is that if you look at this team and you look at other teams in the paddock, this team, the people working on the bikes are the same people for years.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got guys that have been with Richard since the Amin Motorsports team. So I think having that crew together, it's a tight-knit group. You choose who you want to hang out with, and Richard makes those choices.
Okay.
And it works.
All right, that's what's up. Let's talk about Bottle Sauce and track days. You're doing this footage and like a documentary style.
Right.
I mean, do you have so much footage that you got to wait 20 years that you can't release because it's
no? You know what? I kind of look at what I'm doing with the vlog. It's just telling a story, taking the audience with me to the races, and I go around and I talk to not only the talent but the crew. And then I go to the back 40 and I talk to the privateer people as well, because the reality is I'm just trying to share the sport with them on that front. And that's the vlog that I do. And then for the race weekends, I also shoot a lot of content for the team specifically. And, we do that and push that out on the Attack Yamaha stuff on TikTok and Instagram and that kind of thing.
Right. That's dope. And let's talk about the camera you've been setting up on the bikes as far as getting that footage. How's that been going? Yeah,
it's pretty neat. We started using a clamp. It's like my personal DJI, like 360 camera. Yeah. And then MotoAmerica's like, man, we need to do some kind of permanent mount. So Richard 3D printed some mounts for these cameras that MotoAmerica provided. I think they're an Insta360 Go Ultra, and it's like this little detachable magnet camera that's about 2 inches square, and there's an O-ring that basically straps that camera into the mount. And right as the practice goes out, I press record, and Bob goes out. We have front and rear now. Yeah. So,
and Bob is not complaining about the additional weight like Aleix did with his shoulder cam.
You know what, man? Bob complains, but not about that.
That's what's up. And let's talk about track days. I know you got to get out of here. Let's talk about your track days program. You've been running this for over 20 years now.
Dude, I started track days in 2000. Like, it's crazy. My track day company is older than a lot of my customers.
Right.
We got a lot of stuff going on. We're mostly West Coast, obviously. A lot of stuff at Button Willow. They have 2 tracks there now. And then also we do Laguna Seca. And when I do Laguna Seca, I do it in a way that has low rider count.
Okay.
So it costs a little bit more and high sound. So September 12th and 13th, we have a 105 decibel limit day, 3 groups of 30. Get signed up.
That's what's up. Do you want to touch on what happened at COTA this past weekend? Have you heard about a little bit of the whatever you want to call it?
You know what? Actually, I know all about it because I loaned my trailer to a bunch of friends. Okay. The track days rig went out to COTA. I think I had like 13 to 15 friends there at COTA. And, I don't know what that org is or whatever, but I guess they were taking advantage of the fact that the days are numbered for public events out there. And, you know, my opinion is that org went and tried to make as much money as they possibly could. You know, I know everybody in the paddock's been doing some math on that, and they're suspecting they've profited between 100 and 200 grand somewhere. And hell of a payday for them. But, you know, I know a lot of people left that place with a sour taste in their mouths. You know, everybody, if you show up to a track day and it's busy, nobody cares. Nobody cares unless stuff happens and it stops their riding. And then they're sitting in the pits doing and thinking about what went wrong and how bad this org is. But the reality is nobody would care if nothing happened.
Right.
So
it's tricky though. I mean, in a situation like that where you have the opportunity to make that kind of cash, does it hurt the brand a little bit? Because you've been in this for a while now, so I know you must be very conscious of what the brand is to the public.
Well, I mean, is COTA that brand's territory? Because, like, I mean, I think if it's not their territory, they could probably go home and it would be like nothing happened, maybe, you know? And, you know, that's unfortunate because I know, like I said, I know a lot of people left with a giant sour taste in their mouths. And, you know, I don't know. I mean, I see bad stuff like that happen all the time, and it doesn't really affect the org. I mean, when I was doing stuff, like I did some like blowout track days where it was like budget, like, hey man, you know, come for $100. But then what happens is you fill the track with all these people and you don't make any money.
Right.
So it's full, lots of busy crashes and red flags and everything, and then you walk away with no money also. So all the people leave with a sour taste in their mouths and you made no money.
Right.
But these guys made lots of money.
Got you. So,
you know,
somebody won.
Right. Somebody won. Not the customers, but they did.
Yeah, for sure. Well, man, I want to thank you for coming on.
Yeah, dude.
I really appreciate it.
You know, I have big shoes to fill. You know, big shoes to fill with Reese not being here. But, you know, I'll keep drinking my milk.
All right.
You know.
Get up. You can't fill them.
There you go.
Get up. I can't fill them. All right, cool.
Appreciate it, man. We got
thanks for having me on, dude.
Nice. Dustin from Track Days, Tag Yamaha, the whole shebang. Bottle sauce as well. There we go. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Let's get the guys in and have some thoughts. You heard a little bit about that, TJ and Hario. What's going on? Anything you want to add? Want to bring Lewis in? It's like carousel here. That's good.
Okay.
So you heard all what Track Days. Dustin had to say from Track Days. What are your thoughts? We'll go with TJ first.
No, I thought as far as like the Track Days that he has, I thought it's pretty cool. That I didn't know you can increase the decimal to like have louder bikes. So I know Palmer, where we go, like it's like 95 or something like that. But it's cool that his organization's been going on that long. I wish some were over on this side, but we got some good organizations ourselves. As far as the COTA event, that's such a big track, and to have that many people, like when you get out there, you don't want traffic. Obviously, if there is traffic, it's a good pace. Obviously, if the session stops because someone gets hurt, you gotta pay your respect because it could be you yourself. You just want someone to attend you, but to have that many, I guess, and basically, I don't know how much riding time they all got, but you want to get out there and ride and not have the opportunity because of a lot of accidents. You just hope it was like in a way organized a little better, or somehow figure out the skill level of the other riders and stuff like that to make it go smoother. But like you said, it goes both ways. So
definitely does go both ways. Let's get Hario. Man, you heard him. You were there as well. A bunch of his guys went down when it came across from Cali down to COTA. You want to add a little of that, and we'll get Lewis's take as well, because I know he has a lot to say about that as well.
Yeah, I think to his point, like he said, it was too many people out there. I don't think they made money, but one thing I was just like listening to him, like how can you put making money over other riders' safety? And I think they just should have had more people out there to congregate those people and just make more time for the different classes of experienced riders out there. And, you know, it's a learning experience. And it's another reason why they're going private. You know, next year, I mean, it's the best track in the U.S. right now. And a lot of people took advantage of it. And, you know, I hate it's going private because I never got a chance to get on the track. But it is what it is.
Let me take my mute off. You never know, man. I mean, you know, we might get invited to a private group. Lewis, man, you weren't there, but you heard a lot about it. And let's hear it from your side, your take on what you heard, and how can we prevent this from happening? Or like Dustin says, hey, it's not so bad when at least, you know, the organization is making money and not losing money.
Yeah, but there's a balance between making money and losing money, or damaging the brand, but also damaging the sport. You know, there's a lot of people that this was on their bucket list. You know, I personally know 2 people that came down from New York, and between the 2 of them, this weekend cost them between $8,000 and $9,000.
Right.
And they're both beginner riders. They're both novice. It's the first time on that particular track, but it's on the bucket list. And now they had possibly the worst experience they could have ever had. And that's $9,000 that are gone, that another organization that could have shown them a better time now can't show them. So, you know, I think as far as the company that ran that day, the damage to their reputation is done. They're still going to sell track days if they have the right price, because people will ride. I hate to say it, motorcycle people are whores. Mm-hmm. If the price is right, we'll wear whatever. We'll ride whatever. We'll do whatever. I see a lot of people out here in suits that are made for like $25, mm-hmm. but it's in their price range, so they buy it. And if this company comes up with a good pricing strategy at the right tracks, they can still make money. They'll still keep the brand alive. But the damage that they've done to their own brand, and as well just to the sport and to the people that are coming into the sport, like, it really hurts the long-term growth of the sport when somebody capitalizes on the opportunity like this. Yes, right. We're all in the business to make money. I've never seen somebody retire from having fun. You retire from having a lot of money, and then you have fun.
Right.
But there has to be some sense of responsibility as an organization that, hey, I'm putting on this event. I've got 4 groups to fill. I know the track is this many miles. How many people do I want to concentrate per sector of track? So if this is a 4-sector track, it's 3.5 miles. You know, maybe I want to max it out at like 22 people per sector, 4 sectors. So I'm right at about, 50, 60 people. All right, this is a big track. It has a lot of straightaways. People with bigger bikes get around. All right, maybe I bump it to 60 people.
Right.
But to go to 75, or what I've heard of some people say 80, like, that's just completely irresponsible, because now you also have to consider that you're going to have riders and coaches out there. So now that 80 becomes 90 or 95, you're also going to have different skill levels, because you're selling this as a last time opportunity. So you're going to get a lot of people, and this is what they got, I believe, a lot of people that have never been to this track. And this is a very big technical track. Mm-hmm. And now you have, even within groups, you have different skill levels within that particular group. So even a novice has super slow novice, mid novice, high novice. Intermediate has low intermediate, mid intermediate. So now you've got so many people, so many skill levels, and you need probably at least 1 coach or control rider per 6 people, but they're sending out 70 people with what I heard was sometimes 8 to 10 coaches or control riders, whatever they call them at their group. It's a recipe for disaster. We saw the disaster happen. We saw the feedback online. They're getting all the publicity they don't want to get. And they deserve it, to be honest with you. Like, they put themselves in this position. We did the math. I did the math yesterday, kind of just playing around with this guy yesterday, and we estimate that they probably could have walked away with somewhere between $180 to $220 or $230,000 in a weekend.
Wow!
So they could buy themselves a pretty nice house down in the South on this weekend, but the long-term effects to their brand and to everything else, I personally would not tell anybody to ride with this company ever again. If it was in my, if somebody asked me.
Right. I agree, man. It's pretty wild. But let's talk about this weekend, guys. But we'll go around the horn, and what you guys are hoping to see here. Let's talk about Superbike first. I mean, let me see if I can pull up the stats real quick on, Bobby topped the charts yesterday in practice one. Matthew's right there, Sean, JD. I don't want to say the usual suspect, but it's a good way to start out the first day. What are your thoughts, DJ?
Yeah, man, I'm definitely room for the Yamaha boys. So I see Bobby was top of the sheets in practice. When it came to the timed one, Schultz is up there, SDK, Cam Peterson. But to be honest, the top 11 is running around the same time. So not worried about the Yamaha boys. See Bobby Fong and JD Beach was 6 and 7. So just waiting for the qualifying to see, who can be on the first two rows. I already know that Orange Cat's going to come to show up, or SDK. Obviously, Schultz is definitely going to try to do what he can do with what he has. I know he's a fighter, so he's going to pull it out strong. But do want to see either Bobby Fong or JD Beach up there, because I like their, factory attack. But yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting weekend. I have 3 races, so I think this is the first one this year, and then it's just going to be a shakeup after this. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to, be on the podium for all 3 races. I think, if we see like Orange Cash SDK, he might pull away a little bit. So it's going to be some strategy going on, and just can't wait to see. Hopefully the weather's good down there.
Right. Well, we're going to talk about the weather in a second. What are your thoughts, Harry, man? What are you hoping to see from Superbike?
Hey, I think the experiences with the Yamahas, I think it's going to be a different manufacturer for third place. I think JD Beach and Fung will probably switch out first and second through all 3 races. It's just got to be worried about who's going to come in third place. They're the most experienced people, riders on this circuit right here. I don't think anybody else has the experience like they have in Superbike, and I foresee it being a Yamaha weekend. And Bobby, since Cameron Boubier is gone, I've been a Fung fan the whole time because I feel like he's my guy. So like for Superbike. So whatever SDK does or Schultz do, I just think it's just going to be a Bobby Fung weekend.
Okay, all right. Lewis, man, what are you hoping to see? I know Bobby's your guy in the Dainese and stuff like that. And, what a way to, just fight to come back in the last round, getting on the podium and stuff like that. What are you hoping to see?
Just from practice one yesterday, I think Bobby, JD, the attack boys are going to be up there. I think it's going to be more or less a 4 or 5 rider battle, because in the second practice or the afternoon practice, a lot of guys got into the top 6. It changed around a lot, but the JD had a crash, so he didn't have opportunity to really finish that practice. And Bobby never came in to change the tire. He actually ran the entire practice on the same tire, whereas everybody came in, grabbed the soft tire, tried to go out there, get a super fast lap or 2 in. So I'm not going to say it mitigates it, but it does mitigate it when somebody's been out there for like 10, 12 laps on one tire, and you come in and grab a fresh set of tires and try to put down a couple of hot laps.
Right.
So it does change the setup. But I think the race is going to be run in the 125 highs, 125 mids, just like in practice P1. And in P1, you saw the guys that kind of separated themselves. And I think it's going to be the same thing today. As far as weather, it's hot, man. You guys aren't here, but, man, it's hot. It's Virginia in August. It's a sauna. I mean, yesterday I was walking around and it looked like I took a shower. I had to go buy shorts and everything else just because it's so hot. And everybody was saying that the track was super slick because when it gets this hot down here, one, your soft tire is not going to last. So all the guys that put softs on to try to get a fast lap, they got a fast lap. They'll never make it to a race with a soft out here. It's going to get destroyed. So you're going to have to use a different compound, which is going to set the pace back to that original P1 practice pace of the 125 mids, 125 highs.
I mean, it's going to be not that bad, Lewis. High of 91.
I seen the track temperature yesterday from the footage. It was like 100 or something.
Yeah.
So,
no, it was greasy. All the riders were saying that when they went out there after like 1 or 2 laps, the tire temp went up a lot. Obviously, they're coming off warmers, but when they get on the track and the track is this hot, the tire temperature spikes, and they said that within a few laps they started to feel that slipping and sliding where the tires just kind of overheat. Not overheated, but it is overheated. It's crazy.
And we know how Lewis do not like the Michelin tires.
Well, these are Dunlops. This is even worse. Damn, I just got here and there's somebody pointing. I gotta go.
The track seemed greasy yesterday. A lot of people were running off. I've seen that like almost every session for every classes, runoffs and stuff like that. So I don't know if it was bumpy. I heard the track's very bumpy too.
It's been bumpy, but I think here is, you can only get so much drive when the tires are slick, so the rear end is spinning up a lot. And a lot of people maybe are trying to make up the time on the brakes, and when you try to make up on the time on the brakes and you have any issue, you have a runoff.
Which is the worst part. Who's going to have to take advantage of qualifying this morning? We're talking about the temperature. It's going to be different later when they race in the afternoon. The race is usually at 3 o'clock. Which team has to take advantage of this morning and qualify well? Because if it is hot, the guys out front are going to be a lot cooler than the guys in the middle of the pack. What are your thoughts?
I think JDB's Bobby Fong. I mean, they're going to have to try to get out front. Get to the top qualifying. It's so hot. I think you just got to come out the gate and just get your time right away, because you don't want any mistakes or any flags to cause where you can't get your time. So just got to come out the gate right away to try to get the time. But I'm just hoping the Yamaha boys get on top.
Okay. All right. I mean, it sounds like you're locked in for the Yamaha boys, and
I am.
Want to talk about Ducati or the BMW. Let's see if we can get Hario to at least talk a little bit about the. I think Hario might have just lost his connection. Well, Lewis, it's on you, man. What are you hoping to see outside of Yamaha? Because it sounds like that's what you're rooting for.
I think it's going to be Yamaha and BMW. I think it's going to be the Yamaha boys and SDK at the front. Who could really take advantage of trying to get to the front would be the Ducati boys, because they've been having a lot of pace issues yesterday.
Yep.
And if they could get to the front, if you know anything about VIR, this is a very single file track. There's only a few passing places. You can pass under the bridge. You can pass down the front straightaway into the first combination of corners. But then once you get past the long right at the end of the front straightaway, it's a single file all the way into the little drive under the bridge. You can pass under the bridge or on the brakes going up the hill. Then it's single file up the hill again. Mm-hmm. And if you really want to kamikaze somebody, you can jump on the inside of them at the very top of the hill for the right-hander. So with only a few passing places, if you're on a bike that can't keep a very high pace, right, if you can get to the front and block pass, you can keep the pace where you're comfortable and where your bike's comfortable. So that's why I say if a Ducati can get in the top three and get in front and try to manage the pace, it might help the Ducati because everybody else's tires will degrade and maybe the pace will slow down. But if the Yamaha or the BMW guys get out front, they're going to set a pace that the Ducati guys aren't going to be able to match. They weren't able to match them yesterday, and I don't think they found anything magical overnight. I think the Ducatis are just struggling a lot here.
Right, I agree. Let's talk about Sean a little bit, because I think in the last race at Mid-Ohio, the second race, where those guys were saving tires, a couple of red flags, and the race was deemed finished. You think he's going to take it easy this weekend? We'll start with TJ, SD.
No, I don't think he's going to take it easy. I mean, you know where he stands in the points and stuff like that. I think he's just trying to keep his pace. This one thing is when you try to set back or take it easy, that's when things can change. You want to just stick with what you're doing and what you know, and I think he's just going to try to do what he's been doing. Of course, you're going to try to keep his pace and save tires, but when the race starts, you kind of see where you fit in, see how much you have to push, or how much you can just kind of be conservative. But I think he's going to obviously try to stay on the podium. There's no doubt about that, especially if he's like running fourth. There's a couple laps left. He's definitely going to find his way to bump and grind. We've seen it already. So
right.
I think he's going to keep doing what he's been doing.
I agree. And he's been the most clever rider this season so far with pulling out the podiums or wins. What are your thoughts? Do you agree with that, Lewis?
I think he's just going to try to slot himself into the top 3 or 4 and keep looking at his board, see who's in front of him, see who's behind him, and just ride a smart race. I don't think it's in his best benefit to jump out front and be the donkey doing all the work. If you look at all the races this year, he's pretty much let everybody else be the donkeys, and he's kind of slotted in, run his pace, hit his marks, and then with a few, 3, 4, 5 laps to go, then he'll make his move and he'll try to put a little bit of a gap in the last couple of laps to win. And I think that's probably the best strategy for him, because it's not about conserving the tire. I mean, you do have to conserve the tires with this heat.
Right.
If you get out front and you're setting a rather hot pace, maybe too hot, then you're going to eat up your tires. And that's why I say I think the 125 mids, 125 highs are going to be more or less the race pace, unless somebody slow gets out front and slows it down a little bit. And at that pace, we've seen that the Yamaha boys and we've seen that SDK can do that all day. And we've only seen that from a couple of guys when they moved over to soft tires, and they only did it for a very few laps.
Right.
So these guys already have something. So let's see what happens in FP1 this morning or qualifying today. And depending on, again, look at who's going to be on the first road. If you see Ducatis on the first road, they're going to try to slow the pace. If you see Yamahas on the first road, they're going to be in that 125 pace. And at that pace, they're going to separate themselves. SDK can slot into second, third, or fourth. He can run that all day, and then at the end of the race or middle way through the race, he can mix things up and cause the Yamaha boys to wake up. Now, if somebody gets like a 2-second lead, like somebody in front just stretches out 2-second lead and can maintain it, that person's going to win. Because again, it's so single file here that it's hard to pass people, and it's even hard to catch people when you're all running in that 125 mid pace. I don't see anybody pulling out at 123.
Right. Well, you never know. Yeah. Anything is possible. Quote the great Kevin Garnett. Harry, a little bit, but let's talk about SDK, and then we'll move on to Super Sport. Just to get your thoughts on that. I mean, he's like I was telling Lewis before you got back in, he's been the most clever rider this weekend as far as finding ways to get on a podium or getting the win. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, he's after the Yamahas, he's been the most consistent, and I think like if he can pull it off, but he's going to have some trouble because I think the Yamahas pretty much got to kind of get bikes dialed in. After them, SDK is up to him with what he want to do. He has the experience and he's been all around the world, but I don't know.
Okay, all right. We're going to find out. I mean, it's a 20-lap race on later today around 3:15. So definitely looking forward to that. We got qualifying coming up, so qualifying is going to tell a lot, and can't wait for that. Let's talk about the Super Sport class. That class is pretty close with Darren and Harron, and then you got Kayla and Hayes as well in there. What are you guys hoping to see later today, qualifying and the race? Start with TJ.
Yeah. Josh Henry's going to have to get back on his business. Even last round, he had to get it done to try to stay, on the top number 1, but he couldn't do it. So he's going to have to try again. It took him a while. Well, watching the qualifying, he didn't get to the top until like late in the session. And he's running a 27. There's 3 of them up there, him, Darren, and Kayla. So I feel like it's just going to be the same fight as usual. Hopefully we can get Tyler Scott. DeMario's looking really good. So this might be a little shakeup depending on who can get out front. As Lewis is saying, there's kind of single file in certain of these corners. But Darren Bender is just going to be the one to look out for. If anyone wants to be on the podium, they're going to try to find a way to stay in front of him. Try to slow the pace down to get it interesting to try to make people pass. But it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, the times are pretty close between the top 4. You're looking at qualifying yesterday, if I'm looking at that right. Qualifying going yesterday. What are your thoughts, Harry, on the Ducatis? And we'll throw in the Yamaha and Gixxer in there.
Yeah, I think this track right here is where experience kicks in. I think this is Josh Hayes' weekend. Like he's always been trailing behind the top 3 guys the whole season, and I think this is somewhere he might be able to emerge to like at least second or third. I don't know about first, but because I think that's between Bender and Josh Herring. But for sure, I think Josh Hayes is going to cause at least a second place this weekend. I know he's going to podium. I feel like he's going to podium. It was just something like, even though like everybody know that I'm a Kayla fan, it's just something I don't know. Like I don't know what she's going to be able to do this weekend. I don't know how that injury with her finger. I don't know if it's fully healed or what have you. You know, she might be able to do a good hot lap, but I think the endurance through the whole race, I think it might cause us some problems. So I look for Josh Hayes to at least cause some problems and be able to at least. I know he's probably. I foresee him podium, but I think it's going to be second, and really cause some problems with Josh and Bender.
Okay. I mean, Kayla is not that far from Herring and Bender in the time, and I see Hayes is down there a little bit. Lewis, man, what are you expecting to see?
Well, this past weekend I was up at Orange Cat Festival. Herring was there, and he kind of had he was speaking with somebody about like some of the issues he's had in the first half of the season, and what his normal game plan is for these types of races hasn't kind of happened for him, whether it's been because of a bike issue, a bike setup issue, or something. But I think what Herring needs to do is he knows his track. He's won here countless times. I think this is the weekend that Herring just needs to put head down and just gap everybody. Just try to get out front, set a blistering pace that nobody can keep. Because we know that Darren made at least one mistake while trying to keep up with Herring. So try to gap everybody, try to put a good distance between yourself and everybody fighting for second, third, and fourth, and let those 3-4 people fight it out and just give you all the buffer you need. His choice to like sit behind Darren and battle Darren at the end, it's not working. Darren's not that guy.
Yeah.
Darren's not somebody that you can use as the donkey and then expect to just pass him and he's just going to give it up. The dude's going to fight. If he has to put you in the grass, he's going to put you in the grass, not in a dirty way, but it's just that's racing. So either if Herring really wants to win this weekend, he needs to put his head down as soon as the flag drops and try to put as much gap and push it on Darren. Make him, you know what? You want me to do the donkey work? See if you can keep up with this donkey, man. I've been around here a long time. I'm going to show you how fast I can go here. And take advantage of the fact that Darren doesn't have the amount of laps around here that Herring has. Herring's been doing laps around here since like 1990, I think.
Right.
So like take advantage of that.
I think the downside.
Lewis telling the truth though. It's been a long time. Herring been on this track for a long time.
He's ridden from here to the moon and back like 6 times on this lap, I think, in his life. So that's a he's got something in his pocket. Use it.
Right, and I think that's going to be the interesting thing for this weekend and the past weekend as well, where Darren was trying to follow Herring in practice and to kind of see if he can learn something, and then Herring is sitting here saying, "I'm not going to show you anything," which takes away from what you're doing to work on your own set. So I don't think that approach is going to work this weekend. I think he's just going to have to go like Bezecchi and just go out there and just ride his ride, and if Bender's behind him, then so be it, because you really can't take chances, messing up a few laps, especially when you're trying to win the championship.
Yep. And it's close enough to put the pressure you can put pressure from the back, but you can also put pressure from the front. If Darren wants the points, he'll slow down and give Herring the extra 5 points,
right,
or 6 points, whatever it is. If he really doesn't want the points, he's going to give it up. If he really wants the point, then he's going to have to push the issue. And if he pushes the issue, he might lose all the points because Herring's, knows the track better than he does. So he might run off. And we've said, again, a lot of people have run off this weekend trying to make up distance on the brakes.
Right.
And this isn't the weather, the track, or the tires to try to do that.
Right. Let's talk about Kayla before we talk about the Twins Cup and wrap up. What does she have to do these next rounds? I mean, she's a little over 102 points, 1 point down from Bender. What are your thoughts, TJ? What are you looking to see? Do you just kind of ride your ride this weekend and just collect as many points and just continue just to progress, or do you still try to fight and say, I still have a chance to, maybe steal a championship?
I mean, you're still going to have to fight, but I think you said it. She's going to have to ride her ride. She's throwing a lot of strategies out there. Like I've seen her in some races, try to take the, first place, leading the pack the first few laps. And fortunately, she's been overtaken by Darren and Josh and that's always led her to settle with third or fourth. So I think she just got to go out and ride her ride and just see what the points can get her. You never know what can happen. She's kind of still in contention. So as long as she just can focus on that and not have the expectation like I still want to get my first win or I still want this and that. We've seen how the season kind of played out so far. So you don't want to get too far ahead of yourself. So I think it's best to just for her to go ride her ride, just get the points she can. And maybe just try to hang with the pack instead of trying to stay out front, because if you want to be that leader, it's very hard to lead out front with so many laps, because the person behind you is going to find that way to pinch you in a corner. So maybe she can just try to keep up with the pack, like Josh Hayes did last round. He was able to keep up and put himself up there. So hopefully she can just stay in contention with the top two. I'm sure it's going to be Darren and Josh, and see what she can do from there. Maybe pull a draft to get on the podium.
All right. Harry, man, what are your thoughts, man? I know, this is your rider, so I know you want to see her win.
Yeah. I want her to win and then go straight to sign her Moto 2 contract. I'm messing with Lewis. I just messing with Lewis.
Plenty of stuff in the back of the pack.
Nah, but she needs to win. She does need to win, because I can only support her for so long. And as you can see, everybody's still commenting on my hot take. But yeah, she needs to crank that barrier. She's just been so faithful being in third place this whole season. And I know Josh and Bender has the experience and they're fast riders, but in order for her to continue to build on her fandom, she needs to crack the first two some kind of way. Third place is cool. I mean, you still get on the podium, but she needs to be pushing a little bit more to the limit. And I understand, I said previously, that she has that finger issue, but hopefully, it won't cause her too much issues this weekend, so she can at least crack the first two, because she needs it. She needs it. She has a big following, and seeing her come in third place like this or fourth and not being able to save her tires to the end of the race and being able to compete with the top guys, it's not looking too good for her. So hopefully she'll be able to crack the first two.
Okay. All right. Lewis, man, your take?
I think she needs to look behind her and look in front of her. At the end of this weekend, depending on how the points stand, she might be mathematically out of it. So, you want to stay competitive. There's 150 points left. There's only 3 rounds, including the 2 races this weekend. So that's 150 points. So after this weekend, she could technically be mathematically out of it. Does she want to continue to race and to win? Absolutely. Nobody shows up to come in fifth. Everybody wants to win. Everybody's here to compete. But she should take this as a learning opportunity, as a general opportunity. Finishing the race is super important. Finishing the race high in the top 5 is super important. All these things are barometers of success. Yeah, the top step in the podium is the ultimate barometer, but coming in third, coming in second, even finishing the race in fourth with injuries, finishing in fifth with injury, getting some points, and at least trying to maintain where she's at right now in the rankings. So she's third in the championship points. If she's not careful, I mean, you've got Josh Hayes and you got Tyler Scott. Tyler Scott grew his mustache back. The porn stash is in the back. He's just going to go faster this weekend. Josh Hayes is just 3 points behind Tyler Scott, and they're both only one racing away from overtaking Kayla. So if she's not careful, she might lose her third in the overall championship. And I think she should consider that as well as everything else. Try to finish in the top 3. Yeah, third place all the time sucks, but guess what? Third place championship trophies trophies look nice on the mantle. They look a lot better than broken parts finishing in the crash truck. I can tell you that.
Right. And the check does cash. So.
And the check cashes on.
It does.
Absolutely.
MotoAmerica, it might not cash on this Monday. It might be first Monday of next Monday.
I'm pull the feed. Let's talk about the twins. We got, Hank's been doing really well. He's up 218 points. Matthew Chapin, 155 points behind him. Bodie's 148. You got Sam, you got Isaac, you got these guys that are, pretty quick and running well. What are we hoping to see? Is it a foregone conclusion? As you heard Lewis talk about the super sport class with the amount of points that are left for grab. What are you hoping to see from those guys, TJ?
To be honest, still looks like Hank Vosberg got it. Since Matthew Chapin was a teammate of Eli Block back a few years ago, I'm a Matthew Chapin fan. So seeing how he's been riding this year, he only got, I think, 1 win so far early in the season, but he's still a good rider. Hopefully he can get up there on the podium or get a first. But I think Hank got it. I'm really excited to see this class because, we got some home riders for myself that are participating. So to see Eli Block out there, I was just excited to watch the race and his former teammate and obviously Hank's riding really well this season.
It is definitely nice to see Eli out there and to be in the mid pack for coming in towards the end of the season. That's pretty impressive with his ride, and he's been tearing it up in Loudon and flat track and stuff like that. What are your thoughts, Harry, on the Twins Cup?
I want to see the Texas boys. I don't know if they're going to place high, but McKenzie and McKenzie and Foster. I just want to see them try to be competitive. You know what I mean? Like, it's just cool just to watch the Twins, but we already know this is a pretty foregone conclusion of who's going to win. I just want to see, just a good competition, and we don't get cheated this weekend, and no accidents that we can actually see a full race this weekend.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Full races. Lewis, man, what are you hoping to see? I know you're a fan of
Hank the Tank, man. He's it's more or less a foregone conclusion. As long as he doesn't have a major incident or anything, he should be able to wrap up the championship realistically this weekend, because there's only, I think, one more round after this, which is Jersey. And with the bleed that he has, and if you saw him yesterday in both practices, he was just riding on another level from everybody else. The dude was flying out there. And this track is perfectly suited for the Aprilia because it's not a high horsepower track. It's not a top end track. It's a very twisty, technical track. And that's where the Aprilia shines. The Aprilia shines on the brakes and on the side of the tire. And he's getting every bit of traction out there, using every bit of tarmac to go as fast as he can on this little Twins bike. And it's crazy, dude, to see the times that he's dropping. That's fast for a little Twins bike, man. That's really fast. And that just goes to show you how good he is just in general. And there's a couple of guys that are really close to him, but he doesn't even need to win. He just needs to finish in the top 3 both races. And depending on how everybody else finishes, that might be the end of the championship. Now the real question is, what do you do with him? Because he's won so many races, been so dominant this year. He would like to defend the championship, but is there an opportunity for him to go up to Super Sport?
Right.
Or something? Because realistically, if you look at the path that he's taken, it's the same path that DeMario took. DeMario defended its championship, racing the Kramer's Cup at the same time he was defending the championship, just trying to ride as many weekends as he could to get a spot in Super Sport. Do we want to see Hank defend the Twins Cup, but also maybe have an opportunity on a different bike next year with a different team on a next level up? Because the kid is obviously super dominant here. And if you look at his competition, it's not like he's up against like slouchers. He's up against some really, really good competition in this class. So do you want to move him up now, or do you want to give him another year in Twins and move him up? He's still young, man. He's so young, man. It's crazy to think how fast and how good he is at this age.
Right. It didn't hurt Zarco to, go back to
he was
back.
in Moto2 for like 72 years when he looks like he's 95 now. He's looked 96 since he was 21.
He's gonna stay there until he start missing teeth like his dad.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Receding hairline in 8th grade.
I want to shout out Aiden Betancourt, man. He was 3rd overall, and he's not racing the full season in the Talent Cup. He's also racing overseas in the Yamaha, I think Talent Cup as well. So pretty impressive for him. Last year, he was more top 10 to see this guy come in and race a couple of rounds. How impressive is it? I got to assume it's from just racing in Europe and coming back here. He's just picked up a few tenths here and there where, like I said, in the last season, he did get on the podium, but he was like top 5. What are your thoughts? I know Nathan's our guy up in New England, so you must be excited, TJ.
Yeah, of course. And last year, watching him in New Jersey taking the podium and the second race, I was so happy for him. So for his journey this year, he's definitely can see the improvement. And for him missing, I think 2 or 3 rounds and coming back and putting himself in the position he is now, is just can see that he is improving and he's ready to fight. So when you see results like this, it gives you more confidence and you can motivate yourself even more, and you're getting all the support from everybody. So obviously I'm happy to see him. He's another New England rider out there we can support. So I'm just hoping that he can get a podium from here on out for this weekend, and if he's in Jersey as well. But definitely happy to see him out there.
Yeah, no doubt. I don't know if you follow Nathan at all, Harry O, but he's one of he started out, I remember him in the paddock, just on a helo running around as a young kid. He's still young. I think he's like 14. He's not even that old. Dad race, up racing, and now, in the last few years, the dad has quit his racing program to help Nathan. And to me, what it shows is, like, even going over in Europe, just as his first year, we see the difference in the kind of rider. It almost seems like, more riders from the U.S., hopefully can get the opportunity at least to race some rounds in Europe, because they tend to come back quicker when they go over and race.
Absolutely.
So what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. It's just like, I don't know what the training difference is, but somebody needs to go over there and get some of those training files and start getting mentored by those guys and bring it back to the U.S. so we can try to further our riders, because we're lacking. And I don't know what needs to be done, but it needs to be done soon, because in a little while we're not going to have anybody in the on the Premier Class, Moto 2, or World Superbike. It used to be a American takeover, but it's nobody now. So, like, hopefully we can do something to get the talent to be able to be on the world stage.
So, I mean, we did have American team takeover this past weekend in Silverstone,
True,
in Moto 2 and MotoGP. So at least the team is on top. So hopefully we'll get the riders to follow. What are your thoughts, Lewis? Man, I know you have a lot of thoughts on growing riders and what's the best path.
The next American that's going to be significant in the world stage was born a year ago.
Okay,
that's what I like to say.
What about KDJR? That's all we got.
Because just right now, if you think about it, racing in the U.S. is really making a resurgence. We're getting a lot of young talent. The young talent that's young now was just born 14 years ago,
right?
For the most part,
right.
So if it's a long time, but if you think about it, if we're where we're at now and we continue on this path, the next kid that could actually make an impact in Moto 3, Moto 2, MotoGP was just born.
Right.
The kids that are riding now, their kids are going to be the kids that can do the takeover again. Some of the kids now have talent, but we've seen, like you just mentioned with Nathan, you go over to Europe and all of a sudden you come back and you're faster. Why?
Right.
Because steel sharpens steel, metal sharpens metal. When you go over there and everybody else is going faster, you have a choice, sink or swim. So you got to find that way to swim. You start riding with these guys, and all of a sudden your craft gets a little bit better. Your techniques gets better. You start to really race at that little bit of a higher pace. If you're racing the same 14 kids all the time and all of you are at the same level, none of you are really going to progress. You have to challenge yourself. You have to go up to the next class and try to go faster in that class, and go to the next class and go to faster in that class. And that's why I say, like, if the kids keep progressing the way they're progressing, their kids are going to be the ones that are going to make the breakthrough. And that's where we're at right now in the MotoAmerica and racing in general in the U.S. It's not about going to Europe. We have to continue to elevate the level of riding here to match Europe. So that way when we send kids to Europe, they arrive already on equal footing, not at the back of the pack or struggling or having these other issues. Because we can make champions here, man.
Okay.
We got
Absolutely.
money. We can buy champions here. We bought American racing team. So we have the money to do it. We have the talent to do it. We just need to continue to push this talent forward. And that's really what we need to do.
Nice. Well, speaking of pushing things forward, is the time of the show to where we call it. Looking forward to this to today and this weekend, man. I'm very, very excited. I'm gonna be working, so I won't be catching the races like you guys will be catching it. But I'm looking forward to a good weekend. I'll go around the horn, guys. You can say your piece before you get out of here. What you want to see and what you hoping for, TJ?
Just hoping for a nice, fun weekend with some good results, and hopefully that keep things interesting by, let's say, Josh Herron winning. Even Kayla doing good. Hoping seeing some home favorites get top 10s, and just want to see Superbike a little interesting. So if we can hold off SDK to make it a little more interesting going towards the last round, I'm all for it.
All right, what's up? What are your thoughts, Hario?
MotoAmerica owe us from Mid Ohio, right? So like that Superbike race where they just said, okay, whoever came across the finish line in the top 3, then that's the end of the race. And I just want to see them have a good, safe weekend. And crashes is inevitable, but I just hope nobody has something that deters us from seeing a good race and seeing some good battles from our riders here in America.
Okay, all right, no doubt. Lewis, and I know you're thinking about lunch, so you might be going to Orange Cat.
I'm thinking about where I'm going to hide in the AC to watch the racing,
right?
Where I'm going to have lunch. And then for the race, I just want really good racing. I want exciting racing. And at the end of the day, I want everybody to go home in one piece to their friends and family.
No doubt. That's what we're looking for. My name is Rex45. This is the Be Forever Cool podcast. I want to thank TJ with 2 Wheels and Coffee, Hario with 2 Wheels, 1 Chain, Luis Ortega, the real Luis Ortega, the numbers guy. Definitely check out BeForeverCool.com and get connected. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.